Hello, I'm Mr. Esty, and this is the first video in ASAP of Philadelphia's debate series during the COVID-19 quarantine. So what we're going to do in this video series is learn all about the world of competitive public forum debate, or at least get an introduction, because debate is something that you can dive as deep into as you want. And really, there's no way that any video could teach you everything there is to know about debate. There's just too much. But first of all, why? Why are we doing this? And I want you to think, have you ever had a tough time in an argument? Have you ever felt like you didn't have any idea what you should say in a situation? Have you ever left a conversation and 5 minutes later think, that's what I meant to say? Have you ever watched people give speeches and wondered what the heck they were talking about? Or thought that they said something really good, but you couldn't remember what it was 5 minutes later? These are all skills that we can work on in debate. These are skills that you can learn as a debater. And as you become a better debater, you're also going to become a better thinker, a better writer, a better researcher, and even a better friend, a better listener, and quite possibly a better person. At least that's the hope. So let's first start with, what is debate anyway? Is it just another word for an argument? Is it just a fancy term for a disagreement? I think you could probably guess, no, there's a little bit more to it than that. When we talk about a debate, we mean that there are structures and rules in place to make sure that everyone gets a fair chance to speak and to make their point. Also, unlike an argument where oftentimes two people realize they're not even arguing about the same thing and they could have skipped the whole deal, in debate, we argue about one clear topic at a time. We know this at the beginning of the round. We have something called a resolution, which is a clear statement of what we are debating today. It's also very important that we make sure during the round that everyone agrees on how the words in that resolution are being defined. That's something that you can debate about. A debate is also different because there is a judge, and there's a winner, and there's a loser. I bet that there are plenty of times where you really wish there was an impartial outside person who could tell your friend how badly you schooled them because they wouldn't admit it. Well, in debate, you've got that. But just be careful, because you might find that the judge thought that you were the one who got schooled instead. Finally, a formal debate is with a team. There are one-on-one debate formats, but most of the time when you're debating, you are tag teaming with another person. So you two have to come up with speeches that not only make sense on their own, but speeches that make sense together. You have to work together to build an argument that will convince your judge. So there are many, many types of debate, many formats. You can think of it like different events in a track and field competition, or different genres of dance. In debate, we have public forum debate, we have cross-examination or policy debate, we have Lincoln-Douglas debate, parliamentary debate, congressional debate. But in Philadelphia, in the ASAP Debate League, the format of debate that we focus on is public forum debate. The idea of public forum debate is that it is meant for a public forum. What that means is it's meant for everybody. It's meant for the kind of debate that you could see on a TV show, not a cartoon or a drama, but on a news show or a political show, a show with important people in suits getting up there and arguing, but they're arguing for regular people. They're not arguing for college professors. They're not arguing for debate coaches. Public forum is teaching you to communicate to the average person in the public. So in public forum, we have much shorter speeches than we might have in any other type of debate. We also have looser rules. We tend to use less research and we get more chances to bring in personal expression. Also, this is one of the few types of debates where you can directly question your opponents and they can directly question you at the same time. So there are going to be times where you have to navigate this really complex conversation. You actually get to have a back and forth with your opponents. For all these reasons, I think public forum is one of the best forms of debate that you can start with. It's much simpler to learn. It's new. I think it tends to lead to some of the best debates out there, and there's a lot of support for it. It's growing faster than any other form of debate. In public forum debate, there are two people on each team. One team is called the pro or AF team. They're the team who are defending the resolution. The other team is called the con or neg team. They're the team who's trying to say, no, this resolution is wrong. In public forum, your resolution is just going to be a sentence that starts with resolved. For example, resolved, cats are better than dogs. The pro team says, yes, cats are better than dogs. The con team says, no, cats aren't better than dogs. Dogs are better than cats. In public forum, you need to be prepared to go up against another team and to go pro or con. You don't get to choose necessarily what side you're going to be on. You have to prepare arguments for both. That's a really important part of all types of debate, actually, is that often you have to defend ideas that you don't personally agree on. You have to be able to get up there and think of good reasons for ideas that you really don't like. So that is a real mind exercise. You have to stretch your brain and you have to think about why other people who really do believe these things might defend their position. When you do public forum, the round starts with a coin flip. So this is unique in public forum. You get to choose either what side, pro or con, you want to be, or whether to speak first or second. Whatever you choose, the other team will get to choose the other thing. So if you say, I want to go con, the other team might say, okay, we'll speak second. Once that's been decided, there will be two constructive speeches, one from the pro team and one from the con team. Constructive speeches are 4 minutes long and they're just giving your general statement. They're giving your case to the judge and to the opposition so that they can try to figure out what you're talking about, why you think that your side should win this debate, and what your evidence, what your reasons are. After that, there's a crossfire. Both of the people who just spoke, they stand up and they can ask each other questions back and forth. The idea there is to try to trip the other person up and set up your partner. Most importantly, set up the things that your partner is going to want to say in their speech. Because your partner speaks next. The second speakers then go and they have their 4-minute rebuttal speeches. Pro and con each get a rebuttal. And that speech is all about tearing down the other person, the other team. So the first speech is building up your argument, and the second speech is trying to tear down their argument. After the rebuttal speeches, you have another crossfire. This time, it's the second speakers who get to ask each other questions. And they're trying to set up their first speaker partners for the summary. The first speakers will do something that's really weird about debate, if you think about it, Because if I play a soccer game and I win by 1-0, I don't then go on TV in the press conference and get to argue about whether I won or lost, right? The losing team doesn't get to argue that, no, actually we won. But in debate, you get to do that. And that starts with a summary. You're going to explain to the judge, here's the evidence that's been presented so far. Here are the arguments that have been presented so far. This is why our side's arguments and evidence are better. And when you do that, you're trying to crystallize the arguments for the judge. You're trying to summarize. Summaries are only two minutes long, and that's really hard to do. So you have to fit 16 minutes of ideas into 2 minutes. That's really hard to do. It's a very important speech. Guess what happens after the summary? There's another crossfire, but this time it's a grand crossfire. Everybody participates in grand crossfire. All 4 people are asking and answering questions. It can get really crazy. And that's usually when people are most at risk for getting heated. But it's also the time in the debate where you have your last chance to get your opponents on record saying something that will bite them later. All right, after that grand crossfire, there are 2 more speeches to go. Those are the final focuses. Both pro and con, again, get a final focus, and it will be the second speaker giving them. The final focus is your clincher. It's the closer. It's when you lock down that victory. You are not allowed to bring in any new evidence. At this point, whatever's been said has been said, but you need to explain, all right, why does all of the things that have happened in this debate, why do those things make my side win? So notice that a good piece of this debate, the second half of it, is not even about the issue, but it's about explaining to the judge why you've already won. That's a really important thing to think about with debate. You're not just trying to argue. You're not just trying to keep a conversation going. You have to say what you mean right away, really fast, and then you need to lean on that and use that as the foundation for your pitch to get a judge to vote for you. I'm really excited to go through all of the different techniques and skills that will help you do that in future videos. But for now, happy debating.